get, again, in the lowest level of your house. You want to get in a basement. If you don't have a basement, grab some pillows, some blankets, get in your tub and just cover your head. That is the best situation that you are in right now. And Jeremy, just remove that. That's probably for Clark County. Clark County, we do not forget about you. We will be there. But again, that's for the Neillsville area, Greenwood, and south and west. So there, you need to be in your safe place as well. But this, for all likelihood, is an observed tornado, which was a funnel cloud, which could be touching the ground, becoming an observed tornado, just about, if not already across Highway 29. If it did cross Highway 29, it's from Camp Phillips Road to the Marathon landfill. Between those two locations, that's the best that we can do here to let you know exactly where that is. That is hyper local, as small detail as we can get where this tornado could be. And this is also County Road J. So actually, it's between the Target, Stonefield Avenue, Dales Weston Lanes, and County Road J. So if you're familiar with that area, there's the plumbing place there right along Highway 29 to the south. I forget what that place is called, but you know what I mean. County Road J, so you definitely have, again, know where that is. You have the Arby's, the Dollar Tree, you have that rather large equipment dealership just to the east, west of County Road J. Also, you have a place where you can get all like the gravel and stuff and your mulch and everything like that, all in that same area.
Okay, and just another quick update here. So first of all, probably it's hard to tell here unless I zoom it out, they have extended the tornado warning a little bit farther off to the east, basically into northeastern Marathon County. The update from the National Weather Service is that at 4:44, confirmed tornado was sighted over Weston, moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So let me just move over this side. So again, right over Weston is where it's confirming that tornado, and then tracking over Highway 29 and to the northeast, so this northeastern part of the county. So again, Wausau is not included in the polygon here. It's just to the southeast of town. But again, this is where we're seeing the rotation between the reds and the greens right over Highway 29, west of Ringle, east of where the 29 Highway 51 interchange is, and then it's tracking off toward the north and east. So again, that's emergency management reporting that we have potentially a tornado that's on the ground. I want to say likely, but more likely than not, there may be a tornado here on the ground, confirmed from now two sources for the emergency manager. This is going east of Evergreen, that's where this little funnel cloud was, and then crossing over to the east of there, and then now near Weston is where we're seeing possibly a tornado here within this. And I'm just going to check this. I know we don't usually show the debris ball possibility too often, but just to see if we have anything for debris, and we'll put this in motion. We would basically be looking for anything that'd be maybe more of like a darker shade of blue in this case. I'm not seeing that, so somewhat good news. Maybe it's not a huge tornado, but there's still a rotation and a tornadic cell that's probably going there.
And I'll explain that, Jeremy. That debris tracker, basically what happens is the radar is trying to pick up on the Weston area is something that's non-meteorological. So you're looking at something that's not hail, that's not rain. Maybe it's like shingles or some leaves or some tree limbs, things like that. That's what it's trying to pick up on, non-meteorological things, like I mentioned before. But again, the Weston area, you still need to stay sheltered. This is all along Schofield Avenue. This is from, that whole, all those communities, Camp Sturdivant. If you're familiar with that is, you need to be in your safe place. County Road J, got the New Hope Church there to the north. You need to be sheltered as well. We also had breakfast on the farm there at the Foos, if you know where that is as well. They need to be sheltered as well. I'm trying to think of large communities or other areas that need to be sheltered again, because what Jeremy mentioned before, that law enforcement did observe a tornado. They did confirm that just about 10-15 minutes ago. So this is Camp Phillips Road and east. So areas right now, Camp Phillips Road all the way to Camp Phillips to County Road J. So you have, trying to think of other locations as well, trying to give you that information here, and we've been on air for the last couple of hours tracking all these storms, and that's going to continue because we said how high a level that we needed to be today because of these storm threats, and that's going to continue here as we could see an additional round of storms. So right now, that tornado warning, and Jeremy, what time do they continue that to again? I know they issued it downstream as well.
Yeah, so
we have one ending at 5, the next one at 5:15. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, or do they make it 5:30?
No, it's longer. So it looks like that one goes till 5:30 for northeastern Marathon County.
So the Hogarty area, all along Highway 52, we're Hogarty, Anawa, giving you that heads up. Those are the next locations that you need to be in your safe place.
And this is a new tornado warning for Lincoln County, it looks like. That also goes until 5:30.
Okay, let's stay on the Wausau one, Jeremy, because that's observed, we know, but we can still give that heads up. So here's what we'll do, guys. Go full screen to me, and we're going to be talking a little bit back and forth. So Jeremy off camera, me on camera. Jeremy and I will try to go back and forth. Jeremy, if you want to verbally talk about Lincoln County as people can physically see the Wausau area as well. Does that make sense, Jeremy? We want to get all this information out as quickly and as possible and as clearly as we can.
Let me just mention this. So this circulation is south of Tomahawk. It looks like it's crossing over Highway 51 just to the northwest of Birch. And let me just get the rest of the information here on the warning. So again, that one just issued here. This is a radar indicated possible tornado moving off to the northeast at 25 miles per hour, located over Gilbert. But again, as I mentioned, it looks like it's right over Highway 51 near Highway 107. Again, this is in Lincoln County, and is moving somewhat slower compared to some of the other storms that we have here. But again, this tornado warning is in effect until 5:30, as well as the one that's in northeastern Marathon County. So again, you need to get in your safe spot if you're near or east of Highway 51 in the area. This is north of Merrill, by the way. So if you know where Highway 8 is in Lincoln County, obviously this is quite a ways to the north of Merrill. Which is fortunate for folks in Merrill, not so fortunate for folks that are near Highway 51 and north of Birch. And this is extending to the northeastern corner of Lincoln County. Now, if it holds together, do want to give you that first alert if you're over toward Oneida County, near Rhinelander, points to the southeastern portion of the county, near Monaco, and maybe over toward Elko. That storm may eventually make it in, and you can see off to the east of there, another thunderstorm warning was issued a little bit farther to the east into portions of Langley County. But back to the Marathon County tornado warning. Again, this one has been extended out till 5:30. So just to show you, the current warning is where this possible tornado is, just around Highway 29 to the north of there, to the west of Ringle. And then it'll cross over into the rest of the polygon, which extends that pink shading outline that you see there toward Easton and the northeastern corner of Marathon County.
And this is Town Line Road. So Town Line Road goes from Wausau downtown, not too far from the station. This is Town Line Road, very close to that. If you know, we're off Camp Phillips Road, also off County Road J. You have that intersection there with Town Line Road. That is the area right there. If there were to be, again, we did have confirmation of that tornado touchdown in the Weston area. If it's still currently on the ground, this is where it would be. This is County Road J, and to the north and east of County Road J. So all along. So you're talking from basically or very close to, if not including, I'm trying to think of the other locations and other businesses there. But again, this is County Road J that goes all the way up to Town Line Road. County Road N, there's that four-way stop that they just put in just not too long ago. Those are all locations where you need to be sheltered as well. You need to be in your safe place. That's away from windows. That's away from any kind of outside. If you can get into your basement. Again, if you happen to live in a mobile home, you want to make sure that you're not in, if you happen to be in a mobile home, if you can get out, if not, again, try to get into your bathroom, put a blanket over top of you and or some pillows as well, because again, look at that. I mean, Jeremy, that is a clear sign that could still be on the ground here when you see all those reds and that's the greens and everything coming together, and it's closer to the radar. So that is creating a lot of wind that we're currently dealing with. And again, that possibility of that tornado. So Jeremy, thank you for getting us that information here as you continue to get that information from emergency managers, from Marathon County, and also the National Weather Service in Green Bay. County Road Z as well, and you're starting to see more. Again, they're kind of shrinking a little bit, but still includes, again, that tornado warning for northeastern parts now of Marathon County. We're coming up on 5 o'clock. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly here, and also Storm Team coverage with Jeremy Tabin on this first alert weather day. So we have Ringle, still need to be in your safe place from Ringle to Weston, but right now it's right here along County Road J. You got the Eau Claire River, I believe, is running right through here as well. You also have, if you remember, we had breakfast on the farm a couple years ago on the eastern side off Town Line Road, off N there. That's where, again, need all this area, northeastern parts of the county needs to be currently in your safe place for this current tornado warning, which was confirmed that it touched down in the Weston area and likely still on the ground. We're still waiting to see. Hopefully they have some eyes on it as well. You're starting to get into more northern rural portions of Marathon County. Still doesn't matter as well. And you also see more tornado warnings here popping up.
All right, so let's go through these real quick.
Yep.
I think one's Lincoln and Langley County, so I think that might have been the first one
Yep.
that got issued here. And the other one is down, this is actually the one that's popping up. So Adams and Juneau County, I'll give you the first alert. If you're near Necedah, this is possibly where there's some rotation for a potential tornado. This is northern portions of Juneau and Adams County, Big Flats, Highway 13, Highway 80. This is moving off to the north and east. And then the other one will take you back farther north here. That's into, I believe, well, basically where they had the thunderstorm warning here earlier. For eastern Lincoln County and Langley County, you have a tornado warning in effect for this location. Let me see if I can move the map over.
So there's basically almost two tornado warnings right now for Lincoln County, for Lincoln and Langley right now.
Right.
So there's two, so let's walk everyone through this. This is highway, so it does not include Merrill city limits, but this is to the east of Merrill, and you're showing that circulation right here. You can see at the bottom of your screen, this is right along Highway 64. So Merrill, stay sheltered, stay in place. You don't want to be traveling east along Highway 64. Jeremy's doing a great job circling that circulation. And you also have another circulation that's south of Tomahawk, and that's also moving off to the north and east towards Parrish and also the Elko area. Outside of the tornado warning, there's also a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So both of these, again, are included here. So want to keep everyone up to date. Now, we have 3 tornado warnings right now. We're continuing to watch them all.
We're up to 4 maybe.
The Clark County one.
County,
yes,
yeah.
we want to keep. Yeah, there's down towards Clark County.
Let me fix that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay,
is
so
all we have for tornado warnings right now.
Let's go back to the observed one. Where was the observed? We have the observed one in Marathon County, correct? That's the latest that we know.
We'll go back down to that one because that's still being titled as observed as now. Looks like, when we stop the motion here, looks like it's tracking right near Ringle.
Yeah, so we're going to stay on this one until either that ends or we get another, and Jeremy's watching all this information here, until we get another one that's observed. If we get another one that's observed, then what we'll do is we'll have to just go back and forth to them. But as of now, this is the only one that's considered observed, and or it could likely be on the ground, or is just saying that it is on the ground at this point. This is Town Line Road. It runs you from downtown Wausau all the way through eastern portions of Marathon County. You have Ringle at the bottom of your screen. I'm pointing right at it. You have Weston as well, and this is County Road J that runs all through Marathon County. And Town Line Road, there's that 4-way intersection, I believe, off to the north and east of that. That is where, or at least right on that, that is where, again, that tornado could be touching down right now. You see the greens and the reds together. That earlier today, about 20 minutes ago, emergency management out of Marathon County did confirm a tornado that touched down potentially in the Weston area. So we're just going to assume, again, and we want to keep everyone safe here, assume that this is still potentially on the ground right now off County Road N and County Road J, and this is circling it right here. This is exactly where that location would be here in North Central. I believe New Hope Church is right there or very close to it. That center of circulation here off County Road N and also County Road J. This is to the north. So County Road J, that runs you back into Highway 29. You have Arby's. You got that Shell station, not the Shell station. It was used to be the store. If you're familiar with that is, I believe it's not the store anymore. And then it crosses, and then it goes north, and then you have County Road N here and or Town Line Road, and that runs east to west through the county, and that goes all the way into Wausau and takes you right into Business 51, or very close to here to News Channel 7. That would be this County Road and or County Road N, and that's exactly where that circulation is. It's in the eastern side of Marathon County into the east of the Wausau area. So,
okay, and I want to jump in here real quick. So we just got an update from the Weather Service. So still a law enforcement confirmed tornado. It's also been upgraded to something you may not hear about too often in this neck of the woods, a particularly dangerous situation, a PDS tornado warning, which if you're going by levels, you kind of have your base tornado warning where it's radar indicated. You get up to this level, which is a particularly dangerous situation. That means that there's a tornado on the ground, and we just got also information from the National Weather Service that there was damage in Ringle from this potential tornado now, as it's now crossing its way over County Road Highway N. County Highway N, I should say. So again, particularly dangerous situation with this tornado. Again, law enforcement confirming that there's a tornado still on the ground as this is now making its way to the north of Ringle, where there has been damage reported, and then over toward, looks like County Road, I believe that's O or D maybe, I can't, small type, but County Road N is the other cross section there with the road, and again, it's continuing off to the northeast. So this is on the ground, which means you definitely, if you haven't already gotten in your safe spot, if you're in Easton and locations that are farther to the northeast of this, near County Road Z, along County Road N, and then we'll continue onward here toward near Hogarty and Cowlink, if I said that correctly. That's where we may be having, again, some damage or debris ongoing right now.
And Hogarty, you know, if you're from that area, you know they have like those statues off Highway 52. They're about waist high or so. So if you're from that area, know where that area is, that means you need to be in your safe place. So, Jeremy, that is some life-saving information here that you're passing along. So it's called a PDS, particularly dangerous situation that the National Weather Service in Green Bay just put out. So again, there's that. We're likely and or across the highway. Right, it's basically right along Highway J. If you want to just continue Highway J off to the north and east, that's where it's continue to track here. You got Ringle, that's at the bottom of your screen as well, in Weston. So let's talk Moseny. Again, you can come out.
Also, I'll jump in one more time for Weston, where that tornado symbol is there at 451. Weather Service reporting there was damage. The house is there, which is a mile southeast of Weston, technically.
Okay. So yes, we're going to cut back and forth in here. Again, we're going to do keep continuing here. If it takes an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, it doesn't matter at this point, because when the National Weather Service says it's a particularly dangerous situation, again, you need to take all these warnings very, very seriously. You need to be in your safe place all along Highway 52. We're talking from Sunrise Bar all the way to Anawa, and also too in the Anago area. Again, if this continues north and east, that'll be the next larger community that comes under again this tornado that has been reported on the ground. Just to the, you can see here the two areas and the track of it. So just think, a lot of tornadoes due to circulation, they track to the north and east. So you have the first one along Highway 51, I-39. You have the second right along Highway 29, and that continues to move off. So this is the small town of Johnson. So from the Sunrise Bar all the way along Highway 52, all the way up towards Anawa. And if you're familiar with that Anawa intersection, I believe there's like a car dealership there, or like they have like a yard sale, all that kind of stuff in that one corner. It used to be an old ball field, I believe. But that is the area, again, that's next. So again, Anawa at 519, Hogarty at 515. That's right along the river. 510 for Johnson. Anago, if it holds together, 539. Polar 551, and then Price at 557 if it continues to hold up here. It's 1 minute after 5 o'clock. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly here alongside Jeremy Tabin. So again, this is some information that we absolutely need to get out to everyone in northeastern parts of the county. So Moseny area, you're no longer under the tornado warning. Watch for downed trees, watch for power outage, watch for all that kind of stuff. But right now, the worst of that storm is to your north and east. Wausau city limits, including where News Channel 7 is, as well for most of those areas that we are still dealing with rain. But again, the strongest part of this storm, we have 2 tornado warnings, actually 3 right now to talk about them all. But we're going to stay with the observed tornado right now. And as I'm talking about this observed tornado, Jeremy, you can cut in as well once you see new information from the Lincoln County one, Jeremy. Does that make sense? So we'll go back and forth. So jump in at any time to get this information. If you go over top, people understand at home. We get it. We completely understand this. But this is information that we need to get out right now.
So the one thing I can mention for Lincoln County, south of Jeffress, funnel cloud reported there here within the past few minutes. Let me get the exact time on that. That was at 4:55, so about 7-8 minutes ago. Funnel cloud reported in that area some strong winds and rain in association with that part of the storm. So again, in Lincoln County, there's looks like technically 2 tornado warnings here. Both, I believe, go to 5:30. So it's kind of hard to see. Let me put the radar back on here for a second.
It's 5:03 right now for people watching at home. So about the next 27 minutes.
So so we have that's where that spot was just up there. So the northeastern corner of Lincoln County, that's where we had the sighting of the funnel cloud with the storm at 4:55. Again, possible some rotation here near or east of Tomahawk, and then going over into far eastern Lincoln County into western portions of Langley County, northwest of Anago, including Upland as part of that other tornado warning until 5:30. So outside of those 2 reports, We're waiting on getting any more information from the emergency manager in Marathon County. The Weather Service just asking them if they have any more damage reports. But again, this is on the ground still, most likely, making its way near Easton. Let me put the velocity back on here so we can see where that is.
We'll put that back on. Thank you, Jeremy. We want to cover each and every tornado warning. We want to make sure, again, yes, and Jeremy's pointing right at this. And you see that, it's just a classic textbook sign that this tornado is likely still on the ground here just to the south of Easton. We have County Road. We're going to go through all these county roads right now. We have County Road Z, the Eau Claire Dells, if you're familiar where that is as well. Those areas, you need to be sheltered. Anawa, need to be sheltered. Hogarty, you need to be sheltered. Anigo, you could be next. So I'm just letting you know that you could be next in line of this, that you need to shelter. And again, we'll keep you up to date for the Anigo area as well, as that could potentially get closer and closer. But here's exactly where that circulation is. We have County Road Z, we have Easton as well, and we have County Road N. That just to the north, so between County Road N and County Road Z, and moving off to the north and east. And again, that's showing you where that circulation is right now, dealing again with this observed tornado. It was observed touching the ground very close to the Weston area as it crossed I-39, then crossed Highway 29 towards the Ringle area, and it's continued to move off to the north and east. And Jeremy's going to put this debris tracker on, and what you don't want to see is you don't want to see really any blues. And what does that mean? If you saw blues, that would mean, or blue color, that would mean non-meteorological. That could mean some shingles. It could mean tree branches. It could mean things like that. So it's still a particularly dangerous situation. If you're just tuning in, the National Weather Service in Green Bay sent out what they call a PDS, particularly dangerous situation. That means, again, that they have eyeballs on this. That means that it was observed, and also means that it is likely, if not on the ground still, to the north and east of Ringle in the Easton area, heading towards Anawa. Anawa, I know you're not under that tornado warning, and you're not on the polygon. I'd still get into your safe place. Burnham Wood, I know you're not under the polygon, but Jeremy, that's showing two now.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure if it's a broad circulation or maybe the part of the storm that's producing a rotation is now shifting toward kind of the edge of where the polygon is, west of Burnham Wood in that eastern part of the county.
We're still going to put Burnham Wood under that polygon, Jeremy, and also Anawa as well, as this dealing with, again, two areas of circulation. It is closer to the National Weather Service office, the radar in Green Bay, so we're getting a great what they call a slice of the storm, or a viewpoint of it. That's great information that we're getting here on this radar velocity, showing not just one but also two areas, again, of circulation. And again, I know we still have multiple other tornado warnings to talk about, and we'll get through each of them. But right now, since this is observed on the ground, we're going to stay with this one as well. And now, if the others do become on the ground, we will go to those immediately as well.
There's a new tornado warning for that one.
What's that? Oh, did they move? Yeah.
They adjusted it and extended out, most likely, here the time on that one. So new circulation within that tornadic storm, we're going to call it. And then let me just move this over so it actually gets the right warning. So this is for Langley, Marathon, and Shawano counties until 5:45, which extends basically that northeastern corner of Marathon County. So Anawa's technically over the county line, but Burnhamwood, Anawa, part of that, Hutchins, Highway 45 corridor near Roland, and this goes just to the south of Anigo. So technically Anigo and Langley County, is not included in that. But again, this is the same storm that has produced the observed tornado, and it still, as you can see, the tag on there says it's observed tornado with this warning. So let me just get the rest of the info that they mentioned here. So tracking off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour, still a confirmed tornado, has produced damage in Ringle and Weston so far here in the past 10 to 20 minutes. But again, if you're in the path of this storm, you need to be in your safe place in Burnhamwood, Anawa, south of Anigo, along the Highway 45 corridor, along Highway 52. That's probably about where this is going to be crossing over to. Let me just put the velocity back here on there to show that. But again, still a dangerous situation. They didn't call this one a PDS, but they obviously, if there's a tornado observed and possibly still on the ground, we'll treat it as a dangerous situation. That's what it is.
It's been a long time, Jeremy, since I've seen two circulations that close. I mean, you don't see that often.
Right.
I mean, it's just really, you don't. A lot of times it's maybe one circulation really tight, but this is two areas of circulation, all from the same storm, which is why they included many other locations here. So you got even city limits of Anigo. Go ahead and say, you be prepared to get in your safe place. Get things organized, be prepared to get there. It's close enough, very close to city limits of Anigo, but we got Norwood, we got Burnhamwood, we got Anawa, and the northeastern portions of the Marathon County. Soon to move into portions of Langley County. And again, I'm just going to include Anago. They're probably going to be next at this point in terms of the next larger city. And we're covering all the cities, all the communities here in northeastern parts of the county, and also in the southern Langley County under this tornado warning. So someone did officially at 5:05 report that tornado in Ringle.
Yeah.
That's when he said across Highway 29, right? And you got that report of some rooftops likely damaged, right?
Damage to homes or some sort of damage to buildings in the area. And then the report here at 5:05 that we're showing you on First Alert Radar says that the tornado was on the ground and moving off to the northeast. So obviously, since that report, again, we're about 5 minutes after that almost now, the storm has continued to move northeast, and now it's probably very close to Anawa, Burnhamwood, the Marathon, Shawano County line in this case, is where that storm is heading, and that's why they extended out a little bit the tornado warning that goes farther here to the northeast. Again, getting close to Highway 45 relatively soon, just south of Highway 64. Again, if you're in Anawa, Burnhamwood, get in that safe place, lowest level, away from windows. If you're not in a home, or if you're, I should also mention, we haven't talked about mobile homes. Not the time to be at your mobile home trying to take shelter. You want to head to a sturdier structure, whether that's maybe a nearby gas station, a hospital, some other building that's a little more solid in the ground versus the mobile home. When you get these type of situations with a tornado or even really strong winds, obviously that can topple over the mobile home or totally destroy the mobile home in some cases. Again, with the circulation here, it looks still unfortunately pretty strong as it's now getting closer to the Marathon County line. You can see some of these brighter shades of green, a little bit of blue, and brighter shades of red as it's crossing over County Road N, County Road D, and extending over, again, the far northeastern corner of Marathon County is probably where the circulation is at the moment. And as we get closer to probably 5:15 or so, it'll be arriving in far northwestern Shawano County and maybe eventually getting over into far southern portions of Langley County. But again, we are still seeing that circulation here with this particular potential tornado that has been on the ground and may still be on the ground. We'll get more reports if it is, obviously, but right around that location where we circled it here, a counterclockwise rotation coming up here into the northeastern portion of Marathon County. So again, still an intense storm, and at least the one circulation, the circulation back to the west that also had a tornado on it may be starting to weaken. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll just kind of do a radar loop, but that may be starting to weaken, which to some extent may have transferred the energy to the cell that's about say 5 or so miles to the east of it.
Yeah, they had two areas, Jeremy, of circulation that we talked about, and then now it looks like it did become just one area of circulation. So you're seeing almost three polygonal warnings because, again, how it's basically bouncing around from areas of circulation to areas of circulation. So let's go through here. It's 5:11 on your Friday evening, again with those severe thunderstorm warnings, and in this case now a tornado warning that was confirmed. You can see the track of it. There was one here that is across Highway 29 and then continues to move off to the north and east. So this is Highway 47, also Highway 45 as this storm then moves into Anago. Anago city limits, I still get in your safe place. That's basement. That's away from windows. I know okay, we have video from Ringle. Thank you for Sean, our director, is talking in my ear. We have possible video of that. If we can take that video, Jeremy and I can see what we can see here and kind of diagnose that video if we have that. If it comes up, then we'll start talking about it. If not, we'll currently just go back to the radar velocity. I know it's coming up here shortly. But anyway, when it comes up, we'll talk about it. So this is Burnhamwood, Anago, or Burnhamwood, Anawa, and Anago area. This is Highway 64, showing you again that loop. So I think it's Sipple's maple syrup place, maple syrup supply place. They need to be covered as well. Also, just before you get into Anago, that'll be the western side of the road. There's that little farmhouse that always sells all the produce and stuff. They need to be in their safe place as well. City limits of Anago, that would include the Menards. That includes the video's up. Okay, we're bringing that video. Okay, here it is right there, Jeremy. Thank you, Joe, for sending this in from a safe distance. But you can clearly, yeah, see this spin? See how that's spinning and almost you see that debris there? That's a funnel cloud very close to touching the ground, becoming a tornado when it touches the ground. So that is some viewer video of that confirmed tornado that we've had here. And that is just a classic sign there of a tornado that unfortunately did develop here in north central Wisconsin today. Jeremy, got anything else to add looking at that video?
You can't really make out debris, but it's far away. So it's, obviously it was on the ground because we had confirmed reports of damage to homes and buildings in Weston and Ringle as that tornado was going on by. And you can see the reports that are on the screen here behind me, these tornadic cells right along Highway 29. That's, again, Weston here, Ringle over here, and now the cell is just about to the county line with Marathon and Shawano counties. Still some circulation here right near Burnham Wood. So this is going to be crossing over Highway 45. The edge of the county for Shawano is right in that location, and then go north of there, and it goes up here in south central portions of Langley County. So this may skirt just to the south of Antigo, but will likely get to eventually Highway 64 and Highway 47. Highway 45 right now is pretty much where that storm is right over in Burnham Wood.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy, for that information, and thank you for Sean, our director, talking to my ear for showing us that video of that confirmed tornado from earlier today. So Highway 45, you do not want to be traveling on that at any point here for the next half an hour to an hour, if not longer, as this storm continues to move off to the north and east. And Jeremy, remove that tornado warning, and I know these are popping up. It's been the last time I think I can remember, been a meteorologist now for almost 20 years. The last time that I can remember an afternoon or evening this active, we may have to go back to June of 2007. Jeremy remembers that event as well, or 2006. That
2007,
was early,
June 7th.
Yeah, that was early June of 2007, where we had this many not only tornado warnings, but in this case, again, a confirmed tornado that started in Cronenwetter, then went over Ringle, and some spots in Ringle, went over Highway 29, and has continued to move off to the north and east. So Anawa, Rolling, all need to be in a safe place. Anago as well, you need to be in a safe place. That's from the Menards to the Menards. You have the Menards there, you got the Culvers, you have the Quick Trip, McDonald's. We have that place to eat along Highway 64 with that buck there. I forget what that place is. The Wilderness, I believe that's called. Also, too, you have the Fleet Farm just on the north side of town. All those locations, again, you need to be in your safe place because it's going to be close to the city limits of Antigo. You're not under it quite yet, but it's going to be close. White Lake at 6:02, Langley at 6:06, Elton as well at 5:52. So heading out along Highway 64, you got Polar, you got the Trout Farm there, you got Elton, and you continue to move off to the east. Again, this is areas that did experience, that I mentioned, that it did experience that tornado outbreak in 2007, almost the exact same location that this potential tornado that was reported on the ground will continue to move off to the north and east. Let's hope that it lifts. Let's hope that this area of circulation broadens and does not intense. But again, this is just you can't get any more textbook than what we're seeing right now on radar from the National Weather Service in Green Bay, showing exactly where that is, right along Highway 45. And moving off to the north and east again at the next, Jeremy, what did they mention, 50 miles an hour, roughly?
I think it was a little bit slower, closer to about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And I just want to kind of go back here a little bit because we have some other maybe non-observed tornado warnings that are in play right now. So going back into Wood County, I think this is the most recent one. Let me just bring this up here. Tornado warning issue. This is radar indicated. Does include Marshfield. It goes until 6:15. This is radar indicated with maybe hail up to 1.5 inch diameter with this cell. And this is with the storm that's over into Clark County. That tornado warning goes till 6 o'clock. So we got 6 o'clock on Clark County, 6:15 on Wood County. And we have this on the velocity mode. Let me just put this over on the storm relative mode briefly, just to kind of see where the circulation is. This is close to Highway 73, it looks like, in the southeastern portion of Clark County. But again, we'll be tracking over into Wood County, eventually back over to some same spots we were actually talking about, what was it, about an hour and a half ago, toward Highway 80, 97, close to Marshfield, Highway 10 corridor as well.
Is that observed, Jeremy, or just?
Well, this is radar indicated with this particular one, but at least wanted to mention that we have those tornado warnings ongoing back there to the west.
That would be Auburndale again, Marshfield again, the same location like Jeremy mentioned an hour ago. I did see that Lincoln County one, Jeremy.
This is the Langay County one, still going.
Yep, that's still going as well. So we're trying to get everyone through all of this here. With so many watches and warnings, you need to have multiple ways to get severe weather information. We'll continue to talk about all of them here right now. Another radar indicated in Langlade, that's Peck, Vilas area. This is Highway 45 heading up towards Elko. You see Elko at the top of your screen. Jeremy, let's go down to the Anago one. That's the one that at least we know that is observed at this time. And any more information there, this is Shawano County. So right now, Marathon County, not included under any, but it's close, right? We're talking Highway 45, which is basically, Jeremy, there's a microphone right there, a battery.
I need that one for the
okay. microphones only last so long, so we need to change out batteries here to continue, just to make sure that they don't, the battery doesn't die on us. So again, this is Anawa, Highway 45, and this is exactly where that rotation is and potentially still on the ground. We have Norwood here at the top of your screen. So again, city limits of Anago, you continue to be in your safe place, even though you likely haven't gotten an alert to your phone yet, because again, it doesn't include the polygon for the city limits, but you still need to be in that area, still need to be sheltered. That means the entire city limits of Anago. That means from the south side of town, from the Shell station, all the way to the Walmart, all the way to the north side, again, which includes, again, the Fleet Farm, the Menards, the Walmart. All those locations, again, you need to be in your safe place, even though it doesn't, but it's close. It is very, very close. We want to make sure that everyone gets this information and treat every tornado warning as serious as we can. But again, we're talking about an observed tornado which started in Weston, just to the north of Mosinee, then went through the Weston area, then Ringle. And right now, thank you, just getting information here, we got over 2,000 power outages in Marathon County. So some of us may be watching us on WSAW.com. Some might also be watching us on the live stream. So those two ways I can tell you to continue to stay up to date. If you have family or friends, again, make sure Anawa, the Mattoon area, make sure to text them, give them that heads up that they need to get into their safe place, which is the basement. If you happen to be in Anago and you happen to live in a mobile home, if you can, try to get to a local nearest business, maybe a friend in the Anago city limits that you can get into their house as well. But again, if you don't have time for that, and you try to at least get into your interior room of your house, get into the tub, put a blanket over top of you. That would have to be, we got a severe thunderstorm warning, Jeremy, you can remove that. Is that for Marathon County? I can at least tell people verbally if it's for Marathon.
I'll just let it jump there. And while it's doing that, I'll mention that the tornado warning continues. That's going into Shawano County, and the Marathon County just got an update from the Marathon County government. So I'm guessing maybe one of the emergency managers, but some damage reported to multiple houses. This is the exact wording they use. Multiple reports of houses leveled, including along the roads of Abbey and Blue Jay Lane in Ringle. So River Road in Ringle, including Abbey and Blue Jay Lane, reports of houses that were leveled from a potential tornado in this case as it went on through there. And also she's mentioning here working on opening a shelter at Ringle School for those displaced residents from this tornado that went through Ringle.
Okay, so those areas, again, if you're going to go head out to those sheltered areas, take your phone with you, take your charger with you, things like that. Don't forget about your pets as well. Again, you got to think about all that in these kind of situations as well. If you do have to go to a shelter, I shouldn't say that the shelter may not allow pets, but point being is, again, take those important valuables with you and those important things with you. Like Jeremy mentioned, to that information again of that. Was that, Jeremy, was that the school? What did you say again that was?
It says Ringle School, so I'm not sure if there's a particular school in Ringle that they're using, but hopefully our news department can get some more details.
Yeah, to let you know, and we'll continue to keep you up to date. Well, as soon as we get that information, we'll pass that along. So this is the tornado warning. This is Friday, and this goes until 5:45 this evening. This is 5:21 right now for Langley County and also for Shawano County, and that will continue to move off to the north and east. That's a classic sign, again, that northeastern movement. So this is Norwood, this is Mattoon, this is Highway 47 where it meets Highway 45. So just to the north, again, behind this tornado warning, that would be very close to Anago, behind that banner. That's where Anago area is. We'll continue to kind of move this up here as this will continue. So that Shawano County area, if you're familiar with Highway 52, it goes to like Shawano, goes to like, what is that, Marathon County, Shawano County, then Langley County, like a 3 mile, it seems like. Polar as well, you need to be in your safe place. You got Langley as well, it's along the Wolf River. You need to be in your safe place there along Highway 64. Anago, so from the Walmart to the Menards to all those communities in there and around the Anago area, you need to be in your safe place. I know you're not seeing that polygon warning yet for Anago, but it is going to be close, and we want to make sure that we take every warning seriously. But again, when this kind of event moves through, that's what we're dealing again with, that circulation here at the bottom of your screen, that it's going to be really, really close to that. So let's hope that this tornado lifts, but we're going to stay with it as long as we have to pass along, in this case, that serious situation that the National Weather Service earlier today put out a PDS. That's a particularly dangerous situation. And because of that, that's why, again, we're going to continue to stay on air for a period of time. We'll continue to pass along that. We also, too, city limits of Marshfield as well. You need to be in your safe place. That's another tornado warning off to our south and west. That includes all the city limits as well. So from the zoo all the way down towards basically right very close to the county line. This is Highway 80. This is Highway 10. Milladore, Auburndale, Arpin, Pittsville, Cary, and also, Jeremy, that's showing that classic sign again, isn't it, unfortunately?
Yeah, it's showing some rotation there. This is northeastern southeastern Clark County, near highway, looks like it's Highway 95, to the west of Cary, to the east of Levis, and southeast of Neillsville. So this is just to the south of Highway 10. So if you travel from Neillsville through Granton, Chile, hit the Marathon County line, and then eventually get to Highway 80. This is just to the south of that right now. So again, this is where the circulation is located here with the storm. And let me zoom in just a little closer to see, because it's starting to get a little better defined there. So and also, Shortville and Nevins.
And also, too, people, let emergency managers do their jobs out there. You don't need to create any more traffic and go for these areas and look around. You just don't do that. Let emergency managers, they're the professionals. They know what they're doing. So don't make the area any more hectic by adding more people to these areas and driving around. Just stay away, just stay there, and let emergency managers do their jobs. That's what they're here. They do a wonderful job, and allow them to do that. Don't make any more traffic in areas that we don't need to allow them to go to work and do what's needed to be to get done what's needed to get done. So again, this is Clark County. This is a tornado warning. Again, this goes until Friday at 6 p.m. Again, this is Doppler radar indicated. We have Highway 73 right here. That's where that circulation currently is. This is Shortville along Highway 13, and then this goes until Friday at 6 o'clock. We're coming up here on 5:29, almost 5:30. So, Jeremy, wait for that. What's the latest on the Marathon County one, northeastern Marathon County into Langley County? Do we have any more information on that or not?
Let's see here. So I know
we're trying to cover all of them here, guys, to make sure everyone stays up to date. There's just a lot. There's just a lot of them right now. We're trying to
go back here to the wide view just for a second, because we kind of lost track of what happened with that second line of storms. Well, the second line is now getting into at least an organized, strong, or severe category of storms. That's gotten its way over into western portions of Wood County, southeastern Clark County, and then extending back into Jackson County. So these kind of have bled together a little bit. Of course, we've been keeping an eye on that initial line, which went from being strong to a little severe to very severe to having perhaps multiple reports of tornado damage, in this case particularly into Marathon County. So the warnings, let's just see what's left here. We'll go back over to the northeast. So I think Marathon County is now out of the tornado warning, and just a little sliver of this is left. I think we're almost up to 5:30. So this will probably, most likely, unless we get some stronger circulation, maybe this is allowed to expire 5:45 actually. So that might be allowed to expire by 5:45. Let me just take a look at the winds here once again. So again, this was the one that has had a history of producing a tornado, producing damage in Weston and Ringle, and potentially still was on the ground once it went past Highway 29 corridor in Marathon County. Still a little bit of circulation. Again, this is almost to the edge of the Lincoln, or make that Langley and Shawano County line, just off to the northwest of Hutchins, as we're still seeing maybe some of those greens and reds coming together, and about to cross over to the east of Highway 45 and around the Highway 47 corridor. So if you know where that is here in the very far southern part of Langley County, that's where we have still some rotation showing up there. So we got roughly about 15 more minutes left on that tornado warning. Again, this has gone back from being an observed tornado to a radar indicated tornado. So hopefully it hasn't been on the ground since that last observation we got, which was almost about a half an hour ago now. But obviously a lot of damage has been done, whether that's to homes, buildings, knocking out power, and some other things across portions of Marathon County. And you can see they're just basically covering the bases here, extending out beyond that, a thunderstorm warning that's blinking on the screen east of Wausau. So that extends all the way from basically Stevens Point, northeast of Stevens Point, all the way into Shawano County, and extending basically where that tornado warning is into southern portions of Langley County. And I believe that one goes, let me just check the timing for purposes here. That one goes until 6:15. Okay. So it's about half an hour after the tornado warning.
Yeah. So there's a tornado warning inside a rather large, broad, severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the way to look at it too. So more heavy rain on the way for areas that really do not need the rain. Jeremy, once again, thank you for bringing that information along. We'll continue to stay with this right here. But again, it went from observed to Doppler radar, but still you need to take all those proper precautions there along Highway 45 and also Highway 47. Jeremy right here has it circled exactly where where that circulation is. So this circulation started over Mosinee, and it went from Mosinee just to the south there, or just to the north of Mosinee, to south portions like Cronenwetter, then Ringle, and then it continued to move off to the north and east. So again, we did get some information earlier. Hopefully the news department's working on some of that information that Jeremy brought earlier, where there is a place to stay in shelter due to some of that damage. We're trying to find out exactly where that is. So again, another tornado warning. Is that
this one's up in Vilas County, it looks like. So we'll just quickly jump up there and show you. We've had multiple tornado warnings. Some have been observed, some are radar indicated. So this one is a radar indicated tornado warning. So this is up in Vilas County to the northeast of Eagle River. So Phelps, Highway 45 is off to the west, and I'm not sure what road this is, but Highway 70 is on the southern end, and there might be a little bit of a kink there in the radar, which would tend to be usually where we might have some possible circulation ongoing, which I'm guessing that's probably the case with a cell that's to the south of Phelps a little bit. So maybe getting a little bit of hail up toward Phelps, a bit of rotation here, some blues and some reds sort of coming together. Again, kind of in the southeastern corner of Vilas County, heading to the northeastern portion of Vilas County. And that tornado warning, let me just check that one, does run until, let's see here, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Goes till 6 p.m.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy, for that latest tornado warning. Now, the area right now, this would be towards Polar as well, along Highway 64. That's off to the east That's off to the east of Anigo there. If you go past the airport, past all those agricultural fields, you got more rural portions there, kind of those wooded areas, and that makes it more difficult, again, to see, again, exactly where this tornado potentially could be. So earlier, this was an observed tornado, and I kind of zoom out here to show you where I am. This is Phlox right now. This is Highway 47, and this is Highway 45. So traveling northbound on Highway 45, eventually you get into Anigo, and then you have that Highway 47, and then as you go north there, again, on the next road, that eventually runs you into Highway 64, kind of goes right past, again, the airport, or very close to that in Anigo. But here's still that circulation potentially. So it was an observed tornado. Now it's become more Doppler radar indicated, but we're still going to have the history of producing a tornado. Again, that was on the ground just a few minutes ago. And this is Langlade and Menominee tornado warning. Again, this is until 6:15, and this is Doppler radar indicated. So again, this is Langlade, this is Anigo. You got Polar. You go down that hill towards the Polar area, I believe. They got that shell station on the north side of town. You got that small little trout farm is there as well. They need to be in your safe place. All those little communities there, I'm trying to think of them all, but I know there's a lot there east of Anigo. Those all need to be in your safe place. That'd be a basement, that'd be an interior room of your house. So again, this tornado warning was prompted because this circulation about less than a half hour ago that did prompt, again, that tornado that was confirmed. Again, that was just to the north and east of Mosinee, and then it crossed in Ringle, and then it continued to move off to the north and east. So it has the history of producing a tornado. That's why the National Weather Service earlier today, they did put out a PDS, a particularly dangerous situation, and you don't see those often here in north central Wisconsin. You just do not. That's when you know. That's when you have to understand, again, how strong and how bad of a storm this is, how devastation of a storm this very easily could be or has already happened. Again, trying to get more of those damage reports that pass along to you at home. So when you see a particularly dangerous situation, that is something that you just don't want to see at all. So Burnham Wood, this whole area, that's under, again, that severe thunderstorm warning for more rain. We got Norwood at 5:32, Langlade at 6 o'clock, Dottie at 6:11. If it continues to move into Lakewood, that's in Oconto County or very close to Oconto County, that would be at 6:22. In the afternoon. And I understand a lot of people probably watching this probably want to help, and I get that. But one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to make a situation worse. We talk about this often in the meteorological field, what they call the disaster after the disaster, right? Too much help. We know everyone wants to help, and we love the help, but let the emergency managers do their work now. Let them assess the situation and things like that, because if you just take too much help, it can make matters even worse, unfortunately. And it's still raining, and we have still thunderstorms around. So you want to make sure that you're safe as can be until all this is off to the north and east. And here's that second circulation. Again, this is for Wood County. This is for the Marshfield area. Jeremy, I don't think that camera's pointed in that direction, but again, it's probably not. But again, that's where that circulation
check to see
point
for
is.
it, but
yep.
Yeah, so this one's still ongoing for
Yep.
the far southeastern portion of Clark County, and there has been some rotation there. It's still radar indicated at this point, but it is moving over into Wood County, so crossing over the county line near Highway 73 and then Highway 10, Highway 80. So it looks like our Marshfield cameras may not be facing quite in the right direction. This is looking more toward the north.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that swinging around there, but they're still continuing the warning there. Let me just see what they updated here as we're looking at this. So tornado warning continues for Wood County until 6:15, and let's see, it is moving off to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. And may, in addition to having a possible tornado, it's radar indicated, by the way, half-dollar sized hail, so that would be about 1.25 inches or so hail. And just to give you that first alert, if you're in Marshfield, if this continues on that track, it may get to your location within the next 10 minutes or so at 5:45, based on the warning from the Weather Service.
That's Arbordale, Arpin as well. And also, Jeremy, that's going over the area that's already on the flash flood warning, right, till 7:15. So that's an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain, which is already on top of heavy rain that we've had here the last couple of weeks. So we're watching all this as well. Again, we're just keeping an eye on every single storm, because the atmosphere right now is absolutely just in the situation that you look at a textbook and say, okay, this the conditions that we're seeing could provide tornadoes. I mean, it doesn't get, from a weather point of view, in terms of the dynamics, in terms of the moisture, in terms of the winds aloft, all of those ingredients are unfortunately coming together here. And you can see that, unfortunately, again, with these observed tornadoes that we had in Ringle and also in the Cronenwetter area, and as it crossed Highway 29. So the latest here, we got, if it holds together, Moon at 6:30, that's working away into Marathon County, Auburndale at 6:03, Nasonville at 5:45, and also Lindsay at 5:39. All those communities right now, you need to be in your safe place. Hopefully we'll get some storm spotter information from this storm here, and there's that circulation. It's just ready to move in from Clark County and move into Marathon County. Here's all the hail reports and heavy rain reports from earlier today. So again, just like the last event, Marshfield, I know you're going through it again. Auburndale, you're going through it again. This would be the second tornado warning here in the past hour and a half, just for those two communities that I mentioned. And once again, Jeremy did circle where exactly where that is here, at least that potential for that tornado during that tornado warning, which is Doppler radar indicated. So again, a very unfortunately active day here in north central Wisconsin, again with these circulations and just storm after storm after storm. But the severe weather threat will decrease probably about the next hour and a half. So once you get to about 7:30 or so, that's about 2 hours from now, let's say an hour and a half, this is the second line. We talked about the two lines, and this is the second line right now that's moving off to the north and east. Again, this is Friday evening. Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly at 5:36 in this evening, alongside Jeremy Taven with team coverage, and also we have Bree Bilak as well. So we got the news department doing their thing. They're going out searching, not going out, like, but getting us the latest information. And then we have Jeremy and I here that will continue to be on TV, over the air on News Channel 7, on your First Alert Weather app, and also at WSAW.com on our live stream, keeping everyone up to date. And Jeremy, I know you're going back and forth here. That would be coming out of La Crosse or going into Green Bay. Do they talk any more about this or not? Or do they they're going to continue the warning?
I think for now the warning is probably going to continue. So when we still got some time, because the Wood County warning goes, I think, till 6:15.
Okay.
6 o'clock for the Clark County portion of that. So it's literally straddling the county line. So Lindsay, you're probably under the gun as we speak. So be in your safe spot there. First alert for Nasonville, that's along Highway 10. Then extending a little bit farther here to the north. We'll kind of adjust this a little bit. So as you get toward Highway 13, now again, this may get very close to the south part of Marshfield, which obviously if you go up right Highway 80, hit the roundabouts a few times, I mentioned before, then you would get in the south side of town. There's a car dealership not too far before you get into downtown, relatively speaking, and the Highway 10 corridor, which kind of goes back off toward the east and eventually to the Highway 51 I-39 corridor. But again, we're seeing some rotation there. Haven't had any confirmation of a tornado with this particular cell, but it's radar indicated. And I know the Weather Service in La Crosse, before they handed off to Green Bay for the warning coverage, so to speak, have been saying there was very strong rotation about 5 minutes ago when this was north of Sherwood in Clark County. and they were saying that there might be a tornado there, but they didn't have any confirmation on it. But as we're looking at the radar here, and I should probably get out of the way of where the rotation is, apologize for that, but this is right near Lindsay, and then right over the county line, so Highway 10 is right up to the north of where this rotation is. So if it's continuing off to the northeast, which is where the polygon goes, basically into the north part of Wood County, it's going to be passing there near Nasonville and the Highway 13 corridor, and then maybe the south side of Marshfield as it may continue in that direction. So we'll see how things may play out with that, with this second line of storms. The first line that came through, I can tell you earlier, that little wind indicator, we'll pop that up here, at the airport in Marshfield, which is technically also on the south side of town. So this circulation might actually get close to them, unfortunately. But earlier at 3:40, this is where Bakerville is technically, they had a 51-mile-per-hour wind gust with that first line of severe storms that came through. And now we'll see what happens here in the next 10 to 15 minutes as this possible circulation, if nothing else, some stronger winds make their way back across this portion of Wood County as they continue off to the north and east. So tornado warning there, and again, we continue. We'll take this back a little bit just to show you where the other tornado warnings are still ongoing here, and that's over into Menominee County, very far southeastern corner of Langley County is where we have this other circulation. So it's still technically in Shawano County, kind of, I don't know, you want to call it like the boot top of the county here, as we have a little bit of circulation near Norwood, and that is tracking off past now Highway 47 and east of Highway 45, east of the town or village of Rolling. I apologize if it's one or the other, but it is tracking off in that direction, and we're still seeing some circulation against a radar indicated cell. And then as it gets into a little more of Langley County, so get out of Shawano, Langley County, Polar and Langley are also in the polygon for the circulation. If it continues, it will cross over Highway 64 and off to the southeast or so of Highway 52, as we're also going to see some of that potential tornadic storm continue to travel along as it moves through this area. So let me just double check and see if we had any more updates here with this particular storm. So they're ending some warnings for Langley County at before 6 o'clock in this case. Continuing the warning here that we're looking at with this storm that's over into portions of Langley, Shawano counties. And this is going again until looks like 6:15. Is the time on that one? Let me just find it on here.
Yeah, that's fine. Jeremy, you can come back to me, and then Jeremy can look through that, and then come back to me and to this full screen. There you go. So again, at 5:40, this is Polar. This is Langley Highway 64. So Anigo heading eastbound along Highway 64. You go through all those potato fields and all those agricultural fields. You go up like a little hill, and then you go through a lot of areas here. Very dense tree cover, just more rural portions, and that's where that rotation it would be. Very close to the Polar area and east. So from Polar all the way east, and then in Langley, I believe that's where you cross, or very close to crossing the Wolf River. As well. So that's where, maybe the Little Wolf River, but you get the point. This is Elton, Langley off to our north and east. So this is all along, again, this storm recently did produce, again, a tornado earlier. That was in the Weston area. It started south, it started just north of Mosinee, and then it became a tornado. We had confirmed emergency manager. They confirmed that over the Weston area. Then it crossed in Ringle, not too far from Cronenweder, and continued to move off to the north and east. So again, we'll get as much information as we can here out to you over the last couple hours. We'll continue to do that as we have multiple tornado warnings. But this storm here did have that to produce a tornado earlier today. Did have that confirmed. So we're waiting for all this kind of stuff. Just take it easy. I know people, you want to help, and I totally get it, but you can kind of make matters worse in situations that too many people go there at a certain time. Let the emergency managers, they are great, they are wonderful, they will do a phenomenal job here, they are great, but again, point being is sometimes you just get too many people in an area that just makes matters worse. So let emergency managers, they got it, they will get out there as soon as they can. I'm sure in some locations they already are, and take care of things, again, as this was a very long and unfortunately very active day here, again, with these tornado warnings that we have. Yeah.
5:38 with this warned storm we're talking about. There was a funnel cloud reported east of Phlox and also near Elton. So not on the ground tornado, but at least a funnel cloud with this cell as it continue to make its way now over into Langley County. So we can see where
right
Elton is there on the screen and Polar. So been seeing some funnel clouds. So still rotating going on.
Yes. So that was. Trying to think the distance there from the airport or just north of Mosinee all the way up there is probably a good 50 miles or so, Jeremy, very close to it. And you can see here's where it started, just to the north of Mosinee, And here's where you can see all these little things here.
It's almost 50 miles.
About 50 miles. 50 miles is what they say as the crow flies. That's how long that this tornado has either been bouncing up and down or has been on the ground. So Marshfield, again, you're starting to see this red as well. That's because, again, of that tornado warning that they had down in Marsh. So Marshfield, you got Auburndale, you got Arpin, you got Pittsville all under that tornado warning. There you see this yellow area right here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. So outside of the tornado warning, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. Off in the far Northwoods, that's an additional severe thunderstorm warning. So again, all this is slowly moving off to the east. Yeah, it's all moving off to the east right now at around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So we talked about both waves. And there's another one, Jeremy, that came up. Another one of those. I wonder if they observed another one or if that just came up from earlier, from the last couple minutes or not. So the National Weather Service in Green Bay has been on top of this for hours. The National Weather Service in La Crosse has been on top of this for hours as well. So funnel cloud, that's 540. Was that 3 minutes ago, Jeremy? Yeah, 3 minutes ago.
That was a more recent one that just came out.
Yep, the more recent one. So that's good to get that information out to everyone. And that warning continues until when? That continues to when, Jeremy?
6:15 for this current warning.
So about the next half hour. So again, Polar to Lane Lake, again, the whole Highway 64, again, those communities there, they need to be in your safe place as well. Also, you can kind of almost see the track of this. And a lot of times we talk about storm tracks, that northeastern movement, again, of that. And the reason why is that's the best dynamics for these storms, right, for these tornadoes to have, is that northeast. That's why, I don't know the exact percentage, but I'd say well over 90% of the tornadoes track to the north and east. That's all due because just of the dynamics of the atmosphere and the cold fronts and the storms be able to use some of those dynamics which we had unfortunately today in many locations. So Jeremy's circling it right there. We'll stay on this for a couple more minutes, but again, this is the one that we know has the history of producing a tornado that touched down. When a funnel cloud touches the ground, it becomes a tornado. So again, we're also coming up at 5:44. So if you want to look at it, at least we still have daylight hours. We still have about another hour and a half of daylight hours or so. So you're able to physically see this a little easier. The emergency managers are able to physically be able to see better right now than say if it were dark. So right now, so at least that's some news there that this is earlier in the day rather than later in the day, again, with these tornado warnings that we've seen and tornadoes that have touched the ground earlier today in a couple locations. Again, that started in the Cronenwetter area and then through Ringle, and then it continues to move off to the north and east. And Jeremy has that area circulated right here. That's where you see the reds, that's away from the radar. Greens are working away towards the radar. So Antigo city limits, again, still say shelter in the Antigo city limits for a few more minutes. We want to keep you still sheltered there as Jeremy zooms out here just a little bit to kind of show you where you see these little icons. That's where that tornado track was. And it's been either on the ground or kind of what we call jumping. Been on the ground for a little bit, it's jumped, been on the ground, it's jumped, so to speak. That was for about 50 miles or so. That was so far today. So, Jeremy, putting the velocity back on and the radar.
It just looks the same, basically. I just want to see if there was any additional new data as I was getting the new storm track there as the velocity mode runs around with the radar. It should update within every 5 minutes or less.
That's just, so it's good to have that information coming out. And Jeremy, that's tight again. I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's the dark reds and the dark greens all circled in one area from just that storm. Again, started down towards Mosinee and it continued to move off to the north and east. And we're watching all this, but around here, and this could slow things down a little bit, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, you're dealing with the heavy rain, the lightning, and more wind gusts. So that's going to slow things down a little bit. You got White Lake at 6 o'clock. You got Langlade at 6:03. And you got Townsend. That's way up in northern portions of Oconto County, I believe, or very close to it. That's at 6:21. So again, once it gets up in that area, that would be the local media there in Green Bay. But we also want to keep close now. So we talked about the Highway 64. Now I want to go back to the Marshfield tornado, Jeremy. Let's go back to that one. We want to get through all of them here. I want to give you that latest information. So this is city limits once again of Marshfield. You got Pittsville, you got Arpin, you got Auburndale, and this is Wood County until 6:15. Now we'll see what probably coming up in like 10 minutes or less from this tornado warning if they continue to issue it downstream. And that, again, is another signature. As Jeremy mentioned before, you got the River Edge Golf Course, you got all those roundabouts on the south side of town, you got the Yellow River Nursery, you also Marshfield, you have the zoo, you got the Wausau Plaza, you have this is Arbondale just over behind me. But right now, again, that strong circulation once again down towards Bakerville, which, I mean, technically not in the city limits, but really close to it. And you also have Lindsay as well. So those are the areas. We did check some of our sky cams, and just when it's pouring rain, you just really can't see much from that Marshfield sky cam right now. But it's just because it's pouring rain, and you're dealing, again, once again, with the circulation. You got the reds and the greens, and we've been on now for a couple hours. I mean, this is life-saving information today. When you get information that it's a PDS from the National Weather Service, particularly dangerous situation. I can't remember the last time they issued one of those here in Northcentral Wisconsin. 2007 maybe, that comes to mind. Maybe since then, I'm honestly not sure, but here it is. I mean, that is clear here. We want to make sure that all those locations, we have another tornado warning that just popped up. Is that for the one in Langley County, Jeremy, that we just had?
Well, I think this is kind of just a different part of the storm, because you can see the one that's up in Langley County, and this is in northern Shawano County, east of Highway 45. So it's a separate portion of the storm that also has an expiration time at 6:15. So we'll take a look at this here. I'll have it pop up behind me, but you can see where we have some of the greens and reds. It doesn't look quite as strong in comparison to what we still are seeing actually into Langley County there, and a little bit of Menominee County actually, as we got some stronger indications. But radar indicated rotation here with this part of the storm that's in northern Shawano County. And let me just bring up the information. So that's 6:15 for the expiration time. Radar indicated moving off to the northeast of 30 miles per hour. So not quite as intense looking, if that's somewhat of a silver lining here with this cell, but still they issued a tornado warning for basically the far northern portion of Shawano County. So Hutchins and Mattoon will be in the path of this portion of a circulation. So unlike a little earlier in Marathon County where we had looked like two circulations almost next to each other within a few miles, these are a little separated, and I'm hoping the cell that's in Shawano County is a little bit weaker in comparison to that. But we'll switch back over here to Wood County, and the tornado warning here continues until 6:15. We haven't gotten any reports as of yet of any debris or any kind of damage being reported there with that particular storm as it's continuing to move along. Again, just about the Highway 10 crossing over that, County Road B, and then Bakersville, Highway 97, which runs north-south, is just to the east of where the circulation is. Now, looks like it's just past the town of Lindsay.
Yep, and we did get, Jeremy, about 2,100 people without power in Marathon County.
Okay.
So about 2,100 people. So if you're one of those people that don't have power, again, you can watch us right here, 2,400. You can watch us right here on the live stream at WSAW.com. Also, as well, you can text your friends as well if they're without power. Again, WSAW.com. Again, also the First Alert Weather app, and also to the News Channel 7 app. Multiple ways to stay up to date. There are also a few other counties without power as well, but Marathon County, the most numbers are in Marathon County of around 2,400. So Marshfield, you still need to be sheltered in your place. That's along Highway 97 and Highway 13. This is Highway 10. To the west of Marathon County and Wood County, you go into Clark County. That's severe thunderstorm warning, and are coming up now on almost 10 minutes to 6 o'clock, and we'll continue to stay with this here. We went on a little after, was that around 2:30, Jeremy? Right around there?
Yeah, I think it was about 2:30.
Yeah,
right usually we would have done a live stream at about 2:45.
Yeah.
So we were about to do that one, and we're like, nope, here comes the severe storm. So we jumped on and started doing the severe coverage.
So when we're going to continue to stay with this. I mean, this is why we do what we do. This is why we have team coverage. This is why we have First Alert Weather Days. This is just all put into one to make sure that we have this latest information on these days like today, which were unfortunately very active. We still have more active weather, unfortunately, on the way. But again, right now, this would be Highway 10 in Marshfield and south. So from Marshfield to Arbondale, right along Highway 10, you have County Road P. All dealing, again, look at that. I mean, that spin right there. I mean, once again, just showing, unfortunately, a classic sign of relative velocity. If you're just joining us, what do we mean by this relative velocity? The red is away, red out, green towards. So this is called a Doppler effect. So what it's doing is it's taking the raindrops and it's saying, okay, which way is this raindrop moving? Is this raindrop is green, it's moving towards the radar. Red, away from the radar. Red, out. And because of that, you can get two different raindrops basically going in different directions. But what am I creating with my hands? I'm creating a spin, and that's what you're seeing here. So this is great information from the storm relative velocity. That's why we show it versus more of just the regular radar, because this is able to pick up on which way the raindrops are moving. That's why they call it Doppler radar. This is the Doppler effect that you're seeing right now, being able to pick up exactly where this rotation is from all along Highway 10, and this is just to the south of Marshfield. So basically the zoo south, we'll call that, I know it may not technically be in the middle, but we'll say the zoo is very close to the middle of Marshfield, at least to the city limits. In south, if you want to use where the Marshfield Police is or Wausau Plaza, you can use that as well. But there in south, that's where, again, this rotation is showing you where, again, those showers and storms, in this case, that potential for that circulation as continues to move off to the north and east. So Jeremy's putting on there, don't, that minus 19, I mean, just think of that as like, you look at the difference between there. It's not like winds moving negative 19, but what it's showing is that the raindrops going one way and the raindrops going the other way, and you see these numbers starting to get rather high, that is starting to show potentially, again, that spin. And when you're starting to see that spin, that's when, again, you have that potential for that circulation. Therefore, that's why a tornado warning was issued. And right now, it is Doppler radar indicated here. This is in Wood County. Wood County, almost into Marathon County, and that goes into, what did you say, Jeremy, 6:30?
6:15, so we have about 20 minutes left.
Well, they haven't issued downstream from it yet, which is good news. That is good news there, that it hasn't then moved in, hasn't moved over into other portions of Marathon County or Portage County. But again, we still got to take this very seriously. For Arpin, Auburndale, north of Vesper on 186, all those locations, again, away from windows, bathroom. If you don't have a basement's always number one, best place to go. But you do have an interior closet, interior bathroom, places like that away from windows. Those locations, again, are the best as well to make sure that you're in that safe place there for the next at least 15 to 20 minutes. Jeremy, let's put the radar on. And why I want to put the radar on is for the areas, let's just say, for example, you've had areas of damage and stuff. The storms are not over yet. So again, you don't want to risk yourself or anything else, and we all want to help, right? We live in Northcentral Wisconsin, we want to help, but we still have more rain moving in to I-39, Highway 51, more rain moving into Highway 45. We have more showers, more thunderstorms, more lightning. So again, that's why you want to wait until at least another hour to two at least, and even then, let emergency managers, let them do their work to make sure, again, we don't need to add any extra people to it that may not need to be there, because again, these more storms that are on the way. Again, so here, that's why there's a tornado watch that continues until 8 o'clock. They might start cutting that back, especially for our far western portions towards Eau Claire, Red Wing, and those locations. And tomorrow, do you want to give everyone a heads up on this? We know these tornado warnings, but just give everyone a heads up. Tomorrow is going to be in the low 40s at best. And this is going to be really windy tomorrow. So in terms of nice sunny weather for potential cleanup and things like that, that's not going to be here till Monday or Tuesday. So this weekend is going to be really cold, for this time of the year, and really breezy. So I want to make that clear, again, for all the cleanup crews and things like that for tomorrow. Everything else that goes on for tomorrow with these storms and stuff, once they end, I'm just giving you, again, a kind of look ahead to see what tomorrow could bring. And Jeremy brought this up. Severe thunderstorm watch, that continues till 8 o'clock tonight. That's for all the counties in pink. That would be mainly Northwoods. We'll say north of Highway 64. And we have that tornado watch for every county in yellow. That includes now Highway 64 and south. That goes until 8 o'clock this evening. So, Jeremy, let's, what's the, and also, too, yes, do want to pass this along as well. This is a flood watch, every county in green, because, again, we've had so much rain over the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks. We talked about the Shawocton area along the Wolf River, right? That's going to crest at record historic levels late tonight, early tomorrow morning on Saturday, and that's going to continue to early to middle of next week. So it's going to take a while here to see this water level go down, and in most locations, we could see an additional maybe inch or so of rain over a short period of time, which is why, again, they had that flash flood warning that was in effect Jeremy, when does that go to for Southern Marathon County? I know we talked about it. Is that still 7:15? They might extend that. I know.
Yeah, right now it's 7:15, and then obviously if we get more rain, which we're going to be getting here over the next hour or so, it's always possible it could go maybe closer to midnight or somewhere around there. But obviously we've had our share of rain in central Wisconsin especially, and we just talked about the rivers that have been running well above their bank full and in the flood stages to some extent, and even record amounts of flooding to some end of the scale too. So we don't need any more rain, obviously, and we're going to be getting at least a little more between now and about 7, 8 o'clock. Across most of the area. So the wider view here, we'll just show you this on the First Alert Radar Network as we're approaching 6 o'clock. For those of you that were hoping to see the CBS Evening News, unfortunately severe weather coverage has overrun that today, but you could probably find that on Paramount Plus or maybe on YouTube, because I know they usually put those on there at a later time during the day, so you can catch the CBS Evening News later on. But News Channel 7 at 6. Well, we're going to continue with our severe storm coverage at least until 6:15, depending on if we see these tornado warnings, which we still have 2 in effect for, one across Lincoln County and a little bit of Shawano County, and then the other one that's still in effect for portions of northern Wood County. Those, again, till about 6:15 is what their expiration times currently are. As we mentioned, the flash flood warning that's also kind of in this area, including Marshfield and extending through Wood County, and a little portion of Marathon County currently runs till 7:15. So getting the heavier rain as we're speaking back into those locations, unfortunately. If you're just joining us too, we have had confirmed tornadoes moving through the region this afternoon into early this evening. Again, damage has been reported in Ringle and Weston, and possibly a shelter being set up in Ringle for those who were displaced by the tornado that struck there, that crossed over Highway 29. We have, as we mentioned, several thousand in the state of Wisconsin, and about 2,000 to 3,000 roughly power outages currently in our neck of the woods from these severe storms.
Yeah, Jeremy, I can touch in on that, Jeremy. I didn't mean to jump over top. We're going back and forth here, which is great. 14,000 customers in Wisconsin are without power. Oneida County, that's 2,000. Marathon County, 2,400, and Lincoln County, more than 1,000. So, Jeremy, thank you for bringing up that power outage reports there with ours. So, Jeremy, I'll throw it back to you. As you talk about power outages, I want to mention that to people that you can watch WSAW.com. If you have a freezer, you have at least 24 hours, put a brick over top of it on top. And here's it right now. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Here's the latest power outages right now. And most of them, again, are